I dressed plenty more to make sure. Ask when they're going to start doing the national anthem and stuff.
And my mother-in-law came and we're like, we told her, don't come today, it's getting cold and windy. So she's parked at a handicap, so I said, well, that's probably a better seat.
Yeah, really, yeah.
Unfortunately, you can't see the scoreboard anywhere you park. Yeah. Yeah, Bill, we ordered warmer weather for soccer this year.
Please rise for the playing of our national anthem.
Good afternoon and welcome to Ripon's Ingalls Field, where your hometown Ripon Lady Tigers play host to the Winneconne Wolves in the first East Central Conference match of the season. I'm Bruce Link with your play-by-play today here on the Ripon Channel YouTube. Ripon comes into today's East Central Conference game with an undefeated 3-0-1 season record following a 2-1 victory over Mayville this past Monday. Scoring leaders for the Tigers are sophomore Carson Bauman with 4 goals this season and sophomore Summer Annadell with 2 goals. Got the name backwards. Winneconne, meanwhile, enters today with a 3-0 overall season record. In the meeting between Ripon and Winneconne last season, Winneconne defeated Ripon 3-0 at Winneconne. In other Ripon sports action today, the Ripon girls softball team was supposed to play at Berlin this afternoon. However, that game has been postponed and rescheduled as a doubleheader for May 10th in Ripon. Let's take a look at your starting lineups for today's game for the Winneconne Wolves. Number 1, a junior, Shelby Paholke. Number 2, a sophomore, Holly Ahrens. Number 4, a sophomore, Callie Fink. Number 12, a senior, Isabella Hardy. Number 9, a senior, Jordan Verkeilen. Number 10, a sophomore, Kyra Hotman. Number 11, a senior, Hannah Stamen. And number 14, a sophomore, Addison Bannock. Number 15, a senior, Maddie Dodd. Number 17, a sophomore, Ava Paul. And number 20, a junior, Jamie Wasinski. And for your hometown Ripon Tigers, number 1, the goalkeeper for Ripon, a junior, Haley Shire. Yes, Shire. I was corrected on that. It is Shire and not Shear, as I've been saying. Number 2, a senior, Ashley Annadell. Number 3, a sophomore, Ariana Brooks, or as I'll refer to her as Ari Brooks. Number 5, a junior, Olivia Jennings. Number 6, a junior, Ava Nankervis. Number 11, a sophomore, Ellie Rost. Number 14, a sophomore, Allison Ettinger. Number 21, a sophomore, Reese Downs. Number 22, a sophomore, Malia Kowaleski. Number 23, a sophomore also, Carson Bauman. And number 24, a sophomore, Summer Annadell. So coaching for Winneconne, Jeff Pickron, and for the Ripon Tigers in his 7th year overall coaching, this is his 4th year as the girls coach for Ripon High School, is Steve Nankervis. So weather conditions here at game time, we have a temperature of roughly around 41 degrees. However, with a 26-mile-an-hour wind out of the west-southwest, it feels like around 31 degrees and very overcast. There is a little bit of rain in the forecast, however, it's less than a 5% chance. So the players are on the field getting ready, and it looks like Ripon will start with the kickoff. Ripon will be moving from left to right, Ripon dressed in their black uniforms. So Winneconne with the ball, as I mentioned earlier, Winneconne with an undefeated record as they're also 3-0 this season. Winneconne and Ripon both in their season conference opener. And if you recall, I made that comment last game against Berlin, and that was not considered a conference game. That was considered a non-conference game. So the ball goes out of bounds on the far side of the field, and it will be Ripon ball as Ripon will throw the ball in on the far side. Throw in goes to Kowaleski, and now stolen away by Winneconne, and coming up for it is Rost. Winneconne maintains control, but Kowaleski gets down there, and she gets it down the sideline, and stolen away once again by Winneconne. Coming up is Summer Anadel. Anadel fighting for the ball, and now kicked back to the defensive line for Winneconne. Moving the ball ahead in the forward part of the field and into the Ripon defense, and fighting for the ball, and back there fighting for it is Hardy, and Ripon trying to get it out of there. They kick it downfield, but Winneconne again getting the ball. So Ripon not in this position very often where they're having to keep the ball out of the opponent's goal. So Ripon now has the ball go out of bounds, and it's going to be off Winneconne. So Ripon will throw the ball in on the far side. That's Jennings. And the wind catches it and basically blew it out of bounds. And Winneconne inbounds the ball. Inbound goes to Ava Paul. And kicked out of bounds again, and it's going to go off Ripon. So throw in on the far side of the field. And kick toward the middle of the field. And Ripon kicks it away, and it's going to be out of bounds. I believe that may have been Anadel, Summer Anadel, that kicked it out of bounds just to get it away and get another chance at getting the ball back. So Winneconne gets the ball back in, and controlled on the far side of the field by Winneconne. Getting the ball is Callie Fink, and again kicked out of bounds. It'll be Winneconne's ball. They'll do the throw in again on the far side of the field. Ripon in their black uniforms, Winneconne in the white, and Winneconne with the ball now over to Ava Paul, and kicked toward the goal and stopped there by Shire. She'll kick the ball away. Not a very good kick. And Winneconne again with the ball. Ripon comes up, tries to kick it away, but Winneconne continues with the ball, and now way over into the far corner, and it's going to roll out of bounds. It'll be Ripon ball. So Winneconne, or Ripon rather, inbounds the ball, and they're going to, not sure what the referee called. Okay, it's goes to Winneconne, so Winneconne throws it back in. And they continue to control the ball on the Ripon defensive end. Shire, and a score for Winneconne. Puts them on the board first here in the 3-minute mark. And I did not see who kicked that ball for Winneconne, so I apologize for that. But it's the 3-minute mark that Winneconne manages to score. And that was a long kick to get the ball in, but goes into the corner of the net. So Ripon with the ball, and now Winneconne steals it back. They'll work it. Defensive back line will work the ball forward. They pass the ball over to the near side now. With the ball, Hardy. She kicks the ball forward, going to chase it down. Looks like Stamen, and Haley Shire will garner the ball, punt it downfield, and headbutt it away. And now Carson Bauman with the ball. Stolen away once again by Fink. She passes the ball over to the far side of the field to Wasinski. And it goes way over into the far corner, and it's going to be a kick from the goal box for Ripon. So Shire will kick the ball away. She was kicking right into that wind. So she doesn't get it. That one she actually got a pretty good kick on considering the wind. Summer Annadel with the ball, but stolen away by Paul. Passes the ball over to the other side of the field. Summer over there as well. She passes the ball forward to, I believe that's Ava Nankervis over on the other side. And stolen away by Winneconne. Winneconne moves the ball ahead. Move it to the center of the field. Going for it is Carson Bauman. She steals it away now, but she's all alone out there and kicked away by Winneconne. Winneconne comes back for the ball. Hardy, and they kick it toward the goal, and chasing it down over there is Downs, along with Winneconne's Stamen. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for Winneconne. So Winneconne will make the corner kick right from the near corner on the north end of the field. She's got a little bit of help from the wind to get a bend on that ball. And right into the center of the net, but goes beyond it and out of bounds. So it's going to be Ripon ball, and Shire will kick the ball away from the goal box. So once again, Shire with the kick downfield. This time she kicks it over to the far side of the field. And again, Winneconne controlling the ball and clearing the ball all the way across the field on a cross kick and into the center of the field. And Ripon's got to get that away, and kicking it away, that looked like it may have been Ashley Annadel. And Bauman with the ball and kicked away by Winneconne. Bauman chases it down, trying to get it ahead. And she's got some players need to come up and give her a little bit of help. She's gotten it all the way downfield for the Tigers. The deepest Ripon has been able to get all morning or all afternoon so far early in this contest. Kicked away by Winneconne, and Bauman chasing the ball down, and it's going to go out of bounds on the end line. So Ripon will have the corner kick from the near corner on the south end of the field. Summer Annadel coming over to kick that ball. So we'll see what Summer can do with it. She's going to have the ball, blowing the ball away from the goal. So a lighter kick than we normally see, and it's going to go off the chest of, looks like that's her sister, Ashley. Actually, that's Olivia Jennings. So we got more girls with orange shoes out there, so I could usually tell in the previous games which player was Jennings by the color of her shoes, but there's another gal on the other side now with the same color, and Allison Edinger. So Winneconne with the ball, and they're controlling it, get it back in the Ripon defensive end of the field, and kicked out of bounds by Winneconne. It's going to be Ripon ball as Edinger goes over to throw the ball in, gets it into Kowaleski, goes out of bounds. It'll be Winneconne ball. So throw in goes to Aarons, and again, kick toward the sideline. Then Winneconne comes up, kicks it upfield, and it's going to go out of bounds in the back of the goal or the goal line, and that'll be a box kick for Shire. So she'll kick it down, brings it over to the near side of the field now. Trying to find some way to get the ball away from this Winneconne team. And a kick toward the goal, and Shire gathers that one in, and she punts it away now. And right there for the ball is Ava Paul. Gets it over to the near side to Hardy. Hardy dribbling the ball, and now a kick. She gets the curve on it, and right into the goal by Hardy at the 8-minute mark, just before the 9-minute mark begins. 8:58 on the clock. So another goal by Winneconne, this one by Isabella Hardy, and I coach told me, I think she goes by Izzy. She doesn't care for Isabella. So Hardy with the goal. 2 goals now for Winneconne as they lead 2-0. So Winneconne again controlling the ball, and as they move it forward, Jennings kicks it out of bounds for Ripon. And inbounding the ball will be Hardy. Hardy threw it in, but she was over the end line, and I think she might have been a little confused as to which line was which. The yellow line is the out-of-bounds line, and then there's a white line that's used for football that the football team needs to stay in during the game. And I think she was confused as to which line was which, and she was over the yellow line, and so it was Ripon's ball. But Winneconne gets it back after Ripon throws it in. Ripon clears it downfield into the Winneconne defense. Dribbles it over, passing it over to the other side of the field now. And they move the ball downfield. Keeping the ball in, chasing it down is Kowaleski for Ripon. And Winneconne passes the ball into the middle of the field. That's to Fink. Fink takes a shot toward the goal, and that's going to sail wide left and go out of bounds on the back line. So Shire will kick the ball away once again for the Tigers. Winneconne leads here 2-0 as Shire kicks the ball downfield. This one's going to curve and go to the far side of the field, and a kick by Ettinger clears the ball downfield. But Winneconne once again gets the ball. Ettinger kicks the ball back the other way, and this time it's going to go out of bounds off Winneconne on the far side of the field. So Ettinger throws the ball in, tries to get it to Kowaleski, and the ball will go out of bounds. I think the wind caught that one again. So Ripon's got to get used to that wind blowing and how hard it's blowing to try to keep that ball in bounds when they throw it in on the far side. Ball down in the Ripon defensive area. And again with the ball, that's Hardy. And a kick toward the goal, but that's going to sail wide right. So Shire once again to kick the ball away. Shire, one of the team captains here for Ripon. And looking at the sleeves of the players, it looks like she may be the only team captain on the field at the moment. So Winneconne with the ball once again after the kick by Shire. And Hardy with the ball. And she's free. She got a kick, but blocked by one of the Ripon players. And another kick taken by Winneconne. And Shire gathers that one in to keep it from going in the goal. That kick taken by Hannah Stamen. And kicked downfield by Shire. Bauman with the ball. Moves over to the other side. And Winneconne comes away with it. Hotman moves the ball forward. And dribbling it to the middle of the field with the pass now is two Aarons, and then kicked away by Ripon. And coming up to get the ball is Verkeilen. Verkeilen out of the defense for Winneconne. She moves the ball forward, and coming up for it is Ashley Annadell. And again, Winneconne moves the ball forward, chasing it down. Hardy. And passes it to the middle of the field. And a shot taken by Stamen. And still a free ball as Winneconne and trying to control it. Finally, Shire goes over and falls on it so that she can clear the players away from the goal box. And she'll kick the ball away. She'll punt it. So a punt downfield by Shire. Going to go to Hotman. And she'll kick it all the way downfield, and they're just going to let it roll out the end of the end zone. That's the football end zone, so it's going to roll all the way back to the flagpole. A little help from the wind, obviously. So the kick by Shire, controlled by Winneconne, and a kick toward the goal, and right in the middle of the goal, and snagged by Shire to keep the score from taking place. Shire punts it away once again. Goes into the Winneconne defensive backfield. And it'll roll out of bounds and be Winneconne's ball at about midfield. Throw in and off the foot of Kowaleski for the Tigers. And again, Winneconne throw in from the far side. So going over to throw the ball in, that looks like it's Wasinski. Winneconne with white number or white jerseys, and then they've got dark maroon numbers. Makes it a lot easier to see the numbers compared to what some teams wear. So a little bit easier to tell who the players are out there today. Winneconne with the ball over in the far corner. Kick it to the middle of the field, and Shire chasing it down. She falls on it on the left side of the goalpost, and she'll punt the ball away once again. We're in the 14-minute mark with Winneconne leading here 2-0. And Summer Annadel comes up, tries to kick the ball downfield. Kowaleski now moving it ahead. And downfield, Nankervis trying to move the ball ahead downfield for the Tigers. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it'll be Winneconne ball. As the officials say, it goes off Nankervis. But now that's going to be changed by the referee on the field. So Ripon with the throw in. They get it ahead. Bauman with the ball now. Far side of the field, trying to move the ball. She moves it up to Kowaleski, but stolen away by Winneconne. Winneconne tries to pass it upfield, but blocked there by Annadel. And again, moving it upfield. Winneconne to Hardy. Hardy here on the near side. She dribbles it and gets it between the legs of Downs, and then Ripon able to kick it away. Well, Winneconne once again with the ball. Ava Paul, they take a long shot toward the goal, and just knocking it away on the right side of the goalpost is Shire. And a substitution for Winneconne as Addison Verkeilen comes in. And coming out of the game is Holly Ahrens. So corner kick for Winneconne, and just a light kick in. She didn't want to kick against that wind, so just basically rolled it in. And now kicked away toward the sideline, and it's off Ripon, and Winneconne throws it in right away. Moving the ball around. That's for Kylan Addison, the one that just went into the game. Fink, and now Ripon. Kowaleski passes it ahead, and it's going to roll out of bounds off Ripon and be Winneconne ball. So Winneconne in control of this ball game, as they've been able to keep the ball on their end of the field for the biggest majority of the time, which is unusual for Ripon. Normally when we've seen them play, they've controlled the ball for the most part. So they're having a contest here today. So Hardy with the ball. She's moving it ahead. Cross pass goes over to Addison Verkeilen, and now Shire grabs the ball, and she'll bring it up to punt it away for the Tigers. Stiff breeze blowing out there, so the punt didn't go very far. And a handball now by Winneconne, as coming up to try to kick that ball away. I believe that's number 6, Regina Yeager. Excuse me, no, that was Hardy, Isabella Hardy, or Izzy Hardy. So moving the ball forward, Winneconne trying to steal it away is Summer Annadel, and finally coming up is Brooks. Brooks kicks it away, gets it over to the far side, and that's to Edinger, and then Winneconne stealing the ball away. Pass to the middle of the field, kicked away by Ripon. And now a long kick, and that's going to sail wide right of the goal on a high kick. Wind definitely caught that one to move it over to the right side. So Shire kicks the ball away, kicks it downfield, and I don't believe anybody touched it, and it's going to go out of bounds on the far side. So Winneconne with the throw in for the Wolves. In the 18-minute mark, we're tied at, Winneconne leads 2-0 going into the game. Ella Yeager. And coming out of the game for Winneconne, Ava Paul. Yeager, a junior for this Winneconne team. And the ball brought in, it's going to be Ripon's ball. Yes, Ripon will have a free kick. Coming up to do the kick. That's going to be from the far side of the field. So it looks like, nope, now they're going to say it's a throw-in on the far side of the field. They were acting as if it was a free kick. So the throw goes into Kowaleski. Then Ettinger. Now it's going to go out of bounds and be Winneconne's ball. Another substitution for Winneconne as Paige Steffens comes into the game. Steffens, nope, they're not letting her in yet. So the official on the field either didn't allow it or he didn't see that the official on this side had it. But Carson Bauman with the ball. She's moving it forward, dribbling it upfield, being defended against. Now Winneconne with the ball, stealing it away is Bannock. Far side of the field, it goes out of bounds off Winneconne. So coming up to throw the ball in for the Tigers will be Kowaleski. Ripon definitely will need to make some adjustments at halftime. Winneconne leads 2-0. The throw goes into Bauman. Bauman with the ball, dribbling upfield. Now the pass over to the near side. That goes to Olivia Jennings. And now Summer Annadel tries to take it away from Winneconne, but cleared upfield. And now Hardy with the ball on the near side, dribbling it up the sideline. And she's looking, and Downs there along with Jennings to keep her from being able to kick it into the goal, and a high kick goes over the goal, and I think it was also wide left. So going into the game now is Steffens for Winneconne, and coming out of the game, I believe that was number 25, Addison Sigelski. If I'm getting it wrong, I apologize for that. Downs with the ball for Ripon. She kicks it down. Hardy steals it away on the block. Hardy with the ball. Kicks it to the middle of the field and kicked away by Ripon. Summer Annadel clears it downfield further. Kowaleski and then Winneconne. Winneconne with the ball. And now Ripon and Winneconne jockeying back and forth with it. Kowaleski comes away with it, dribbles it down the field, as coming up and trying to get it away is Hotman for Winneconne. Winneconne kicks it out of bounds, so throwing it in is Kowaleski, and it's going to be Summer Annadel with the ball now. She's guarded by a Winneconne player, and a Winneconne player comes up, kicks it away. She falls to the ground. Ripon going to be called for a penalty. I believe they're going to call her for a push or a trip, one or the other. So kicking it downfield, and Jennings kicks it away, but Hardy right there, and cross kick to the other side of the field, but it goes out of bounds right in the corner, so it's going to be a kick from the goal box for Ripon, and coming in now is Lacey Steffens, a freshman for Winneconne. So Winneconne substituting freely here, as coming out of the game, Hannah Stamen. So a freshman for a senior. Coach has a lot of confidence in his players. So we got a handball. It'll be a kick for Ripon, as coming up to kick it downfield, Ashley Annadel. And Winneconne right there to get it. Almost stolen away by Ripon. Now kicking it away is Jennings, and fighting for the ball. Jennings along with Bauman, and goes out of bounds off Winneconne. Jennings comes over to throw the ball in for the Tigers. She gets it to Summer Annadel. Annadel moves the ball forward. In front of her is Bauman, along with Jennings, and she keeps it from going out of bounds. Gets it to Jennings. Bauman comes up, gets the ball, and now out of bounds on the kick by Winneconne. And we have another substitution. This one a Ripon substitution, is Charlie Bruins going to go into the game for Ripon, and it looks like she's going to go in for Ava Nankervis. Nankervis coming off the field. And a throw in by Jennings over to Bauman. And over there to steal the ball away is Bannock for Winneconne. Bauman comes up, and now it's going to go out of bounds off Winneconne. So Jennings comes over, throws the ball in, and trying to get it in, and finally gets it to Bauman. Bauman tries to get it back to Jennings. Jennings trying to keep it from going out of bounds, and they're going to call it out of bounds off Ripon. And Jennings not happy with the call, but gets it to Winneconne on the throw-in. That's Hardy. Hardy, team captain here for Winneconne, and now Bauman steals it away, dribbling it downfield, and there to defend against her are two Winneconne players, but Summer Annadel manages to get it, and Winneconne steals it away. Then Ripon steals it back, and Winneconne back with the ball again. That's Fink. She gets it downfield, but way ahead, and it's going to go out of bounds down on the other side of the field. So coming up to throw the ball in, Allison Ettinger for Ripon, and it's going to go out of bounds off Kowalski and be Winneconne ball. Winneconne with the throw in. Not wasting any time out here, and I can't blame them with that wind blowing as much as it is and as chilly as it is out there. Their legs have to be cold. But Winneconne controlling the ball once again. And a kick toward the goal, and Shire right there to garner that kick for the Tigers, and she'll punt the ball away once again for Ripon. Just getting ready to move into the 25-minute mark here. Winneconne leading 2-0. They've controlled this ball from the very get-go. And a kick toward the goal, and again, Shire will fall on it right in front of the goal for Ripon. She'll come up to kick the ball downfield, punt the ball, taking her time, and she's got an untied shoelace, so a timeout by the official while they're tying the shoelace. And Brooks back there does the tying for the Tigers, for Shire. And Shire now punts it downfield as we get the clock started once again. With the ball is Fink. She moves it over to Ella Yeager. Yeager moves it over to Hardy. Tries to, but it's too hard and goes out of bounds. It'll be Ripon ball here on the near side. So coming over to throw it in is Downs. Reese Downs throws it in, tries to get it to Jennings, but Winneconne manages to get it. Jennings will kick it out of bounds. And coming over to throw it in, Paige Steffens. Steffens, a junior. And now they're going to say it's Ripon's ball, so Downs comes over to throw it in for the Tigers. She'll throw it into Bauman. Bauman can't control it, and Winneconne kicks it away, and it's going to go into the goal on a odd hop. I think the wind caught it there as well, and right into the hands of Shire. Shire kicks it downfield, and Winneconne with the control on it, trying to come up and steal it away, was Rost. Now Bruins and Winneconne in the defensive backfield. They kick it downfield, get it down to the far sideline, and down there and trying to defend is Kowalski, and kicks toward the middle of the field. Ripon steals it away, but Winneconne gets it back, and now over to the near side to Hardy. Hardy, a little fancy footwork there, and trying to move the ball forward. Jennings takes a tumble to the ground. No infraction there, and Hardy kicks it toward the goal, but it's going to be off Ripon. And they're going to have Shire do a goal kick from the goal box. She'll keep it on the ground. Goes past Downs and to Winneconne. Now over to Hardy. Hardy back over to Sarah Scheider. And a kick toward the goal, and jumping up to block it from going in is Shire. So another good job by Shire. She's getting the workout today, something she normally doesn't get. She usually gets to take a pretty good break back there for the Tigers. But Winneconne making her earn her due today. So Winneconne with the ball. They move the ball forward, and Ripon kicks it away. And back to Ella Yeager. Yeager moves it ahead. Now Bauman with the ball for Ripon, but she loses it, and kicking it back is Paige Steffens over to the near side to Hardy. Hardy downfield, and going to chase it down was Wasinski, and Ripon has the ball. That's Jennings. Jennings over to Summer Annadel. Annadel tries to get it back to Jennings, but Hardy steals it away. Moves the ball forward on the near side, and kick hoping for the wind to carry it, but it didn't curve, and goes wide left of the goal. So Shire once again will kick it from the goal box. Coming in number 11 for Winneconne, that's Hannah Stamen, and going out of the game, Wasinski for the Wolves. Also coming out of the game, I didn't see the second person that went in, but coming out of the game was Kyra Hotman. So far side of the field, Winneconne will inbound the ball, and the throw in goes to Fink. Fink kicks it into the defensive backfield, and back there with it is Jordan Verkeilen. Now back to Addison Bannock, and they move the ball forward. A high kick goes to the far side of the field. Off Kowaleski. She goes, chases it down way over in the far corner, moves it ahead out of the corner so they can try to keep from getting a goal kick. Gets it all the way out to Bruins. Now Winneconne moves it back the other way on the far side of the field, now into the middle of the field, and a kick taken toward the goal, but Ripon blocks it, and Shire comes up to fall on it in the goal box. So she'll come back up with the punt. So Tigers punt the ball downfield. Shire gets it down. Bauman right there. She'll chest bump the ball, and now stealing it away is Paige Steffen. She'll move the ball ahead to Hardy here on the near side. Hardy dribbles it down the field. Cross kick. Tries to get it over in the middle of the field, but kicked away by Ripon. Now Summer Annadel. She moves it ahead to Bauman. Bauman alone with the ball for the moment. She's moving it ahead. Two defenders coming up on her. One of the defenders there is Bannock, and Bannock finally steals the ball away from Ripon. From Bauman. So moving it ahead, and right there to block it was Jennings, and Downs will kick it downfield, but with the chest bump on it, Ella Yeager, and the ball moved back. Now Jennings again for Ripon, but Hardy steals it away, loses control. Summer Annadel comes up, takes the ball away from Hardy. She moves it over to the far near side of the field, tries to get it ahead to Bauman, but with the ball up there is Bannock, and Bauman tried to steal it away, but it goes out of bounds off Winneconne, so Jennings comes over to throw it in, but she'll come out of the game, and going into the game now for Ripon will be, looks like Elena Williams stepping onto the field. So out of bounds off Ripon, be Winneconne with the throw in on the near side. Throwing the ball in is Paige Steffen. She throws it ahead, and Summer Annadel comes away with it. Now out of bounds off Winneconne. So Ripon's ball once again, and we'll see who comes up to throw the ball in for Ripon. Nobody really seems to know who's going to throw it in. Looks like Williams is going to finally come over, throw the ball in for the Tigers. She'll try to get the ball into Summer Annadel. Finally, Bauman has it, and stolen away by Winneconne. They move it back into the defensive backfield. With the ball is Ella Yeager. Passes it over to Addison Verkeilen, and then they move the ball forward up to midfield. Winneconne with the ball, working it down the far side of the field. Now in toward the middle of the field, but kicked back away. Chasing it down over on the far side. That looks like Downs, and it's going to go out of bounds out the end line right near the corner. So 3 substitutions coming in for Winneconne. That's going to be Paul and Millie Bremen. And I'm not sure who the third one was. I apologize. So Winneconne with 3 substitutions, as I said earlier, freely substituting here and substituting often, letting his players get rests. So with the ball, that was Bremen. And Ripon kicks it downfield, and trying to get to it is Bauman. But kicked away over to the far side, Winneconne, and that's Bremen once again kicking it out of bounds on the far side. So going over to throw it in for Ripon will be Kowaleski for the Tigers. Throwing it in at midfield, trying to get it to Bruin, stolen away by Winneconne, and now again out of bounds. So Kowaleski will go to throw the ball in once again for Ripon. Ripon trailing 2-0, and we're in the 33-minute mark. And a throw in. Winneconne steals it away. Kowaleski gets it back. Fighting for it now. Winneconne comes away with it, dribbling it downfield over on the far side. Tries to pass it over to another Winneconne player, but kicked away by Ripon. And Winneconne comes up to get the ball back. I believe that was Holly Aarons out there. And now the ball is going to go out of bounds. So it'll be a corner kick by Winneconne. Second corner kick for Winneconne today. Kicking it from the far side of the field. Ripon in their defensive posture, and the wind definitely caught that. And Annadel comes up trying to get the ball. She has it for Ripon at the moment. And out of bounds, it'll be Winneconne ball on the far side near the corner. Winneconne with the throw in. They get it to Millie Brayman. And then back to Jordan Verkeilen. Verkeilen kicks it ahead. Now some jockeying for the ball. Kick back to the defense for Winneconne. Up ahead to Paul, who has returned to the game. Kick toward the goal, blocked by Brooks, and it's going to go out of bounds out the back line off her feet, and it'll be a corner kick once again for Winneconne. So Winneconne with the corner kick on the far side of the field. Depends upon which side of the goal it goes out of bounds on, whether it's this near side or the far side as to which corner they kick from. So over on the far side, kicking it on the corner kick for Winneconne. And Bruins kicks it back and chasing it down. Now tries to get it ahead. Nobody to get the ball to. Kicked by Winneconne, blocked by Kowaleski. And it's going to go out the back line once again. So another corner kick for Winneconne. It's going to be 4 corner kicks to 1 so far this afternoon. Winneconne, instead of trying to kick the ball into the wind, they just kick it in. And now a kick toward the goal, and that's going to sail over the top of the goal and out of bounds. So Winneconne loses possession of it as Ripon will kick the ball. Shire from the goal box kicks the ball downfield, waiting for everybody to get back into play and for the official to give her the signal to start things off again. As Ripon with a substitution. Ellie Rost comes out of the game for the Tigers along with Bruins. So Ripon with the kick, it goes off. One of the Ripon players on the far side of the field, I believe that may have been Nankervis. So Winneconne with the throw in, they control the ball, kick toward the goal. And coming up to throw the, or fall on the ball is Shire. And she's run into, and in most cases that would be a foul, and in this case they didn't call one. So they're going to let Shire kick the ball away, and it's downfield. Winneconne, defensive backfield, comes up. That's Verkeilen, Jordan Verkeilen. Now they kick the ball downfield to Paul. Paul tries to move the ball ahead to Lacey Steffens and back to Paul. Paul kicks the ball ahead, now kicked away by Ripon. Picked up in the back by Regina Yeager. And a kick back. Yeager headbutts it. And Ripon with the ball. Kowaleski tries to move it ahead. Ripon does come up with the ball. And that's Grace Retzloff. And finally, Winneconne steals the ball back again, but Summer Annadel right there to steal it back for Ripon. She'll dribble the ball forward, tries to get it ahead to Bauman. Bauman trying to chase it down, but getting to it first is Jordan Verkeilen. And they kick it over to the far side, and it's going to go out of bounds off Winneconne. So Ripon with the throw-in on the far side of the field. Ripon trailing Winneconne here 2-0 as we're in the 38-minute mark, just starting the 38-minute mark. So we've got just under 2 minutes left in this first half of play. Ball controlled by Winneconne as they move it upfield again into the Ripon defensive end on the far side of the field. Dribbling it and trying to move the ball around, just trying to keep Ripon, and now a kick toward the goal. Shire will pull that one in, fall on it, and she'll come back up to punt the ball away. 2 scores here by Winneconne in the first half, and early in the first half, 1 in the 3-minute mark and 1 just before the start of the 9-minute mark. Winneconne moving the ball over to the near side, chasing it down. Lacey Steffens gets it back to Paige Steffens. Have to assume they're sisters. Paige, a junior, Lacey, a freshman. Ball into the middle of the field. Trying to steal it away is Ripon, but over on the other side of the field with it is Winneconne. Winneconne keeps it from going out of bounds and keeping the Ripon player from getting to it. And then Bauman comes, kicks it out of bounds on the far side. Apparently she saved, nope, she didn't. I thought she saved it from going out of bounds. And Winneconne throws it in. We're down to less than 30 seconds remaining here in this first half. Ball moved forward, kicked away by Ripon. It doesn't go far as it just went up. The wind caught it and it came almost right straight back down. So Winneconne trying to get another goal before they can end this half, and we've got 8 seconds remaining. Winneconne, and kicking it toward out of bounds is Ripon by Winneconne, and that's the half. As at halftime, Ripon trailing Winneconne 2-0. We'll take about a 10-minute break for halftime and be back for the second half of today's conference season opener with Winneconne leading Ripon 2-0. I'm Bruce Lincoln. You're tuned into the Ripon channel on YouTube.
You guys got heat in here?
No, we wish we did.
I would have brought some along up there.
No, we're supposed to have heat in here.
Oh, yeah, electric heat there.
It's failed.
It don't go?
It's failed. All the breakers
doing
say
Turn
on.
the thermostat up. I guess it is.
It's up all the way.
The breakers all say on, but the tow test says frozen.
You need an electrician.
I think so. I think so.
Well, I had no power in Roaring Park
Oh yeah?
on
Find my way home.
Monday.
Welcome back to Ripon High School's girls soccer here at Ripon's Engels Field. As we got 40 minutes on the clock here in the second half, ready to get things underway. Teams switching sides of the field. Ripon will be moving from right to left now on your screen as you're watching today's game. Winneconne leading here 2-0. As Winneconne scored 2 goals in the first half, one in about the 3.5-minute mark of the opening of the ball game, and then again just before the 9-minute mark started in the first half by Isabella Hardy. So Winneconne kicks it off, and they've got the ball to start off here, trying to work it out of the defensive backfield. They work it forward. Goes ahead to Jamie Wasinski, and Winneconne moving the ball downfield. Winneconne, a pretty good team here, as they've been controlling this ball for the better part of the game. So a kick toward the goal box sails wide left of the goal and out of bounds. So Shire will kick the ball away from the goal box. As we're just underway here in the second half, so not even 40 seconds into the game and already a shot taken by Winneconne, but doesn't go in. So kicked by Shire, and again toward Shire, and she'll gather that one in, punt it away. And a nice kick. Ripon with the advantage of the win this time in the second half. So Summer Annadel moves the ball over to the far side to Kowaleski. She's trying to chase it down, but it's going to go out of bounds before she can get to it. And Winneconne inbounds the ball, trying to chase it down Ripon. Bauman chasing it down, but then kicked away by Winneconne. Now kicked all the way downfield to Wasinski. Wasinski gets the ball over to Stamen, and they're moving it all the way up, and a nice kick, but right into the hands of Haley Shire, and she'll punt the ball away once again, and again a nice punt by Shire. Nice help by the wind. Goes deep into the Winneconne defense, and the goalie comes up to snag that ball, and she'll punt the ball away. Actually, she's going to throw it away. Throws it upfield instead of punting it like they normally do. And Ripon comes up, steals it away. That's Rost, and kicked away by Winneconne, but over to Bauman. Bauman with the ball for Ripon. She moves the ball back, but Winneconne steals it away. Now moving the ball forward, upfield, and they kick it up ahead to Wasinski, and out of bounds now by Ripon, and that was Nankervis, or Ettinger rather, that kicked the ball out. So inbound by Winneconne. Get the ball into Stamen, over to Wasinski. Wasinski crosses it over into the middle of the field where Ripon with the ball. Kicked by Winneconne off the Ripon player, and coming away with it is Hannah Stamen. Brooks comes up, kicks it downfield, and Winneconne once again, but kicked toward the goal, and this is going to go wide left of the goal, and Shire comes up and snags the ball before it can go out of bounds, and so she'll come up to punt the ball away once again. Another nice punt, gets it nearly down to midfield. And Bauman down there to try to get the ball. And again, stolen away by Winneconne and out of bounds, and it's going to be Ripon ball on the far side of the field at about midfield. Coming up to throw the ball in is Downs. Reese Downs comes up. Throws it down, tries to get it to Bauman, but taken away there by Winneconne. Now moving the ball ahead is Winneconne. Winneconne Stamen. And over to the far side, dribbling it up. Now cross the ball into the middle of the field. And a kick taken toward the goal. I believe that went off one of the Ripon players, but coming over and falling on the ball, Shire once again. Shire getting the workout back there today. The Winneconne goalie, not so much. Kicked downfield by Shire, and Winneconne will chase the ball down. And it's going to actually roll out of bounds all the way in the backfield, be Ripon ball. Excuse me, Winneconne ball. Nobody touched the ball after it was kicked by Shire. Throw in by Winneconne on the far side. They'll kick it upfield. Dribbling the ball ahead is Winneconne. Downs comes up and tries to steal it away, but Stamen once again comes over, controls the ball for Winneconne. Gets it into Wasinski. Kicked away over to the other side now. Winneconne still with the ball and moving it ahead. Wasinski comes up, dribbling the ball, passes it to the middle of the field, and taken there by Ahrens. And a kick right in the middle of the field goes down and off the hands of Shire, so it's going to be a corner kick for Winneconne over on the far side of the field. Going over to do the corner kick is Hardy for Winneconne. Ripon gets into their defensive positions. Be interesting to see how if she actually tries to kick this ball with the wind blowing as it is, or if she'll just pass it into another player. And I'm guessing she's just going to pass it into another player. In fact, the ball don't even want to stay for her to kick. Finally gets it to stay in place. And she does kick it, but it's going to go into the middle of the field rather deep. And coming up for it is Fink. Fink passes it over to Hardy on the far side. Now Wasinski with the ball. Back to Hardy on the far side. And Hardy dribbling it in toward the middle of the field. And she falls to the ground, and we're going to have a whistle and a timeout. Official stops the clock. Not sure the reason for stopping the clock at that point, but looks like it's going to be a penalty kick. That's the reason they stopped the clock. Penalty kick for Winneconne. As coming up to kick the ball will be Hardy. She'll place it down on the line. Winneconne here with a chance for a penalty kick to make it 3-0. Haley Shire wants to keep this ball from going in. And penalty kick by Hardy is good at the 46-minute mark of today's game. So 6 minutes and 12 seconds into the second half on a penalty kick by Hardy. Makes it 3-0 here at Ingalls Field against the Ripon Tigers today. So Winneconne looking to possibly hand Ripon their first loss of the season. Early in the second half as Ripon and Winneconne fighting for the ball. Winneconne in their defensive backfield now. And coming up for the ball, kicking it forward is Kyara Hotman. Summer Annadel trying to chase the ball down. Stamen now with the ball for Winneconne. And picking it up is Ava Paul. And downfield, they get it to Wasinski here on the near side. Wasinski back to the middle of the field. And with the ball is Ahrens. Ahrens passes it over. Now a kick toward the goal, and that's going to be snagged by Shire. So lots of stops for Shire today. Winneconne definitely not afraid to take kicks toward the goal today. So with the ball, Ripon, Downs has it, kicks it downfield, but Winneconne ends up with it. Fink kicks it downfield over to Hardy on the far side. She kicks it down the sideline, dribbling it, and now brings it back into the field. A kick toward the goal, and that's over to Wasinski. Wasinski takes a kick, but blocked by Brooks for the Tigers, and then she falls on the ground, and it's going to be Ripon ball. I believe they called a trip by Winneconne, and so Shire comes over with the free kick, kicks it downfield, tries to get it to Kowaleski, but Winneconne ends up with the ball once again. So Winneconne controlling the ball, getting it over to Ahrens. Ahrens now goes down, and it's going to be a free kick for Winneconne. That kick downfield and over to the near side now to Wasinski. Wasinski tries to pass it to the middle of the field. Downs blocks it, but taken away by Winneconne. Wasinski with the ball once again. And coming over for it is Annadel for the Tigers, stealing it away. Ahrens, and a kick toward the goal and blocked again by Haley Shire. So she comes up to punt the ball away once again for Ripon. Nice punt, and that goes down past midfield. Bauman trying to get to it. She comes up fighting for the ball and going to be kicked downfield by Winneconne. Kowaleski there. She moves it ahead for the Tigers to Nankervis. Nankervis on the far side of the field as the ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Winneconne ball as they called it off Ripon. So inbounding the ball to Paul. Paul moves the ball ahead. Ashley Annadel down there. Nice kick downfield into the backfield for Winneconne. Bauman comes up, kicks the ball ahead, but it goes out the back line. So it's going to be a kick from the goal box for Winneconne. Bauman with a nice job to get down there, but just couldn't control it enough to kick it toward the goal. So the keeper will pass the ball over to a defensive player for Winneconne as they continue to move the ball ahead. Ripon comes up, Kowaleski, but Winneconne with the ball. Now going to go out of bounds off Winneconne. So Ripon's ball, Kowaleski comes up to throw it in from the far side of the field. Gets it in to Nankervis. Coming up for it. Looks like could be Downs. And, that was Ellie Rost. And now pushed to the ground. That was Ashley Annadel that got pushed down. So Ripon will have a free kick from about the 40-yard of the football field. Annadel with the kick. Nice kick downfield. She gets it down to Summer, but kicked away by Winneconne. Down there is Kowaleski, but stolen away by Winneconne once again. That's Paul, and Paul crosses it over on the kick to Wasinski on the near side. Now kick downfield. And moving it back and forth between Winneconne and Ripon. Summer Annadel comes up. She starts to move the ball forward for the Tigers. Fighting for it and tries to pass it over to Jennings. Back to Annadel on the near side. She's on the sideline trying to keep the ball in, and Winneconne kicks the ball, and it's going to go out of bounds, and that's off of Kyara Hotman, and it'll be Ripon's ball in front of the bench for Winneconne. So throwing the ball in for the Tigers, Allison Ettinger here on the near side. Tries to get it in to Jennings. And Winneconne once again steals the ball away. Wasinski with the ball on the near side as she works it down the sideline. Kicks it over to a player in the middle of the field. That's Hardy. Hardy goes down, and now it looks like Stamen kicks it toward the goal, but it's going to go wide right of the goal. Out of bounds, and they're going to say it's off Ripon and will be a corner kick for Winneconne, I believe, the way things are setting up. Nope, Ripon's going to come away now. It looked like they were setting up for a corner kick, but they're saying it's Ripon's ball, which I thought it was to begin with. So Shire comes up, kicks it downfield, tries to get it to Jennings, stolen away right away by Winneconne. And over there is Ettinger, and Winneconne with the ball. Wasinski kicks it to the middle of the field. Over there to get the ball is Fink. Fink moving it around, and now Paul moving into the backfield for Winneconne, and slip by Ahrens, and with the ball was Summer Annadel. She wanted a whistle but didn't get one. And coming up for it, Ahrens once again. She'll move it ahead to Wasinski. Wasinski here on the near side, passes it to the middle, and a kick toward the goal. Shire falls on it right in front of the goal for the Tigers. Ripon trailing 3-0 here as Winneconne has scored 2 goals in the first half and then another goal by Hardy at the 6-minute mark of the second half, or 46-minute mark of the second half, as they continue running the clock from 40 minutes in the second half. So Jennings with the ball for Ripon. Steal away by Aaron. She gets it downfield to Wasinski. Wasinski moves it to the center of the field. Ripon steals it away and downfield. Bauman, and then away by Winneconne once again into the middle of the field. Over to Wasinski for the Wolves. Off the legs of Summer Annadel, and then fighting for it. Summer Annadel as well as Aaron's. That was actually Ashley Annadel the first time instead of Summer. But Wasinski fighting for the ball. It's going to go out the end line, and Ripon wants a whistle, but they're not getting it. So it's going to be a kick by Ripon from the goal box, and substitution for Winneconne as Addison Burkylan comes in, the freshman. Comes in for the Wolves. So kick downfield for Shire. Ripon with the ball. Ava Nankervis on the far side, stolen away by Winneconne. That's Hardy. Hardy moving it downfield, passes it to the middle of the field to Stamen. She tries to move it ahead. Coming up for it is Hardy. Hardy has it kicked away by Ripon, but back to Paul. Paul into the middle of the field, and Hotman comes up for it. She'll take a kick toward, and you could see the wind grab that ball and move it away from in front of the goal to the left side of the goal. It was headed that way, and all of a sudden it took a big curve away from the goal. So Shire will kick it away from the goal box. Looks like Jennings has come out of the game for the Tigers. Not sure who went in for her. But Ripon and Winneconne fighting for the ball in the Ripon defensive half of the field. So Hardy with the ball now for Winneconne. She takes a kick toward the goal, blocked by Downs, and now moved ahead. And another kick by Winneconne from about the 20-yard line of the football field, and Shire right there to block it. She'll punt it downfield, gets it down to about midfield, and over there to try to get the ball is Nankervis, stolen away by Winneconne. Winneconne moves it ahead. Stamen goes for it and kicked out of bounds by Downs for the Tigers. 55-minute mark as our clock is stopped here at 55 minutes even for whatever reason. Not sure what the reason for stopping the clock was, but they've put the ball in motion. The clock still has not started. Winneconne leads here 3-0. As Winneconne, another kick toward the goal. That's going to go wide left and out of bounds. So it'll be Ripon once again with a kick from the goal box. And our clock still has not started. So not sure what's going on with the scoreboard. But we're stuck at 55 minutes, so not able to tell you where we're at with the time on the clock. So 3-0, Winneconne leads. Ripon with the ball, and Summer Annadel kicks it out of bounds from midfield. So they continue playing. The officials do keep track of the clock on the field. Unfortunately, we don't know where they're at with the time. So, inbound to Winneconne, and a kick toward the goal, going to sail wide right. And so once again, Shire will kick the ball away from the goal box as Winneconne with 2 substitutions coming in, including Ella Yeager and Paige Steffens. It looks like one of the players coming out is Ava Paul, and the other one coming out appears to be Maddie Dodd. Haven't heard Dodd's name called, I don't think, at all today, other than in the starting lineup. So Winneconne controlling the ball once again, moving it over to Stamen. Stamen with the kick, but it goes wacky there and doesn't exactly do anything. And chasing it down, Winneconne down the sideline on the far side. Hardy with the ball now for Winneconne. Hardy dribbling the ball past the Ripon players, and finally Downs kicks it away, but Hardy comes back up for it. And Winneconne kicks it back, and now back forward. So Winneconne now with a shot toward goal and trying to, I believe that was Hardy once again. So that's a hat trick for Hardy here this afternoon for Winneconne. She's got 3 goals, and don't know where we are with the game, so I can't tell you what minute mark we're at because the clock still says that we have 55 minutes. So Ripon will come up to kick the ball to start off here. Score is correct as Winneconne leads here 4-0, but the time has frozen up on us for whatever reason. Now we've got something up there, but I'm not sure how correct that is because it says it's in the 20-minute mark, and we're well past 40 minutes, 46 minutes, we know. So while the timekeeper works on straightening out the clock, we'll continue on with the ball game with Winneconne leading here 4-0. Wasinski with the ball, and it's going to go out of bounds. They're going to say it's off Ripon. Wasinski throws it in and gets it into the field, and another score for Winneconne. This one was number 8, Addison Verkylen. And she gets the score, makes it 5-0 now in favor of the Wolves. So we get underway once again. And the ball kicked into the defensive backfield of Winneconne, moving it ahead to Verkylen. Now with the ball kicking it downfield is Callie Fink. And Kowaleski comes up with the ball for Ripon, kicks it ahead, now ahead further. Going to try to chase it down is Bauman, and it's going to be Winneconne coming away with the ball. And that's Hardy on the far side. She kicks it to the middle of the field to Stamen. Stamen dribbling the ball, passes it ahead, trying to get it to Wasinski. Stolen away by Ripon. And Stamen gets it back, moves it back to Hotman. And again, trying to steal it away. That's Williams, who's in the game now for Ripon. I believe she probably came in for Jennings. Now we're on the far side with the ball. Ella Yeager. Ripon kicks it back, and it's going to go out of bounds on the far side, so chasing it down to throw it in, Paige Steffens. And we got a Winneconne player taking a second to tie her shoes up. A throw goes into her, to Ella Yeager, and we're going to have a whistle, and we'll see what's going on here. We've got a substitution coming in for Winneconne, number 18, Lacey Steffens. She comes in for Stamen. Couple pairs of sisters, it appears, that the Winneconne team has. Steffens appear to be sisters, I'm guessing. When I looked at the roster earlier in the game, I never thought to ask the coach when he gave me the lineup if they were. But Hardy with the ball now for Winneconne. Passes it to the middle of the field as she tries to get it to Verkylen. Addison Verkylen, who's already got a score here. Hardy has a hat trick. And Winneconne again controlling the ball. Verkylen. And a kick toward the goal, but the wind catches it, and it's going to be well short of the goal. And Haley Shire comes up to snag the ball, and she'll punt it away for the Tigers. Gets it down to midfield and back into the defensive backfield for Winneconne, and trying to chase it down is Bannock. And it's going to go out of bounds on the far side of the field, and Ripon's ball. Bannock must have touched it. And a substitution for Ripon now as Alexa Heemstra comes into the game for the Tigers. It appears she's coming in for, well, I haven't seen anybody start to head out yet. Official, it looks like it's going to be Nankervis coming out of the game for the Tigers as she comes off the field on the near sideline. Throw in on the far side goes to Bauman. Stolen away by Winneconne. She'll go down the sideline. She's wide open and has nobody in front of her. Passes it over to the middle of the field to Hardy. Hardy loops around with it. Stolen away by Bauman now for the Tigers. She'll move the ball ahead. Down the far sideline, and a little defensive action over there by Bannock. And fighting for it is Bauman. She moves it back to Kowaleski. Kowaleski gets the ball, and now with the ball for Winneconne is Verkeilen, Addison Verkeilen. Coming up for it is Ella Yeager on the far side. Now they move it into the middle of the field. Wysinski back over to Yeager, and ahead to Hardy. Hardy passes it ahead now to Wysinski on the far side of the field, and she'll take a kick toward the goal. And ahead, header over toward the goal, but the wind catches it and keeps it from going in, and Shire will chase the ball down, and she'll punt the ball away once again. Winneconne leads 5-0 here. We have no idea how much time we have left in this game, unfortunately. The officials keep the time on the field, so hopefully they're aware that the clock is not working correctly. Wysinski on the far side of the field. She's moved from the near side to the far side now, as on the near side of the field is Lacey Steffens, and a kick toward the goal once again for Winneconne, pulled in by Haley Shire. She'll bring it up, punt the ball away. So the punt downfield gets down to midfield. Bauman there, she'll give it a chest bump. Then continues to control the ball, gets it ahead to Summer Annadel. Annadel tries to move it ahead to Bauman, but stolen away by Winneconne. And coming up for it, Addison Rost, or not Addison, that's her brother, my mistake, Ellie Rost. And now Verkeilen. Verkeilen moves it over to the middle of the field to Wysinski, and they try to get it over to Hardy on the far side. Stolen away by Kowaleski, and now it's going to go out of bounds off Ripon. So it'll be Winneconne's ball on the far side. They'll throw it in. And they get the ball in to Ella Yeager. Yeager with the ball. She'll move the ball ahead to Wysinski. Wysinski passes it to the middle of the field to Hotman. Hotman now over to the near side, and she'll pass the ball to the middle of the field to Verkeilen. Verkeilen has it stolen away by Summer Annadel. She'll try to move the ball ahead to Williams, and Williams has it go out of bounds. And we'll see who they're going to say it belongs to. Ripon is going to have the ball, as coming over to throw the ball in. For the Tigers is Ettinger, and stolen away by Winneconne. Controlling the ball for Winneconne, Lacey Steffen. She'll move it back to Verkeilen. Verkeilen with the pass over to Ella Yeager. Now Hardy trying to chase it down for Winneconne. And Winneconne has just controlled this game right from the get-go here this afternoon, as they lead 5-0 over Ripon. Ripon not usually having to fight this hard for the ball, so a kick toward the goal by Wysinski is going to sail wide left of the goal and out of bounds. So once again, Shire will kick the ball from the goal box. She places it on the line and gets ready for the kick. Kicks it downfield, and right there is Summer Annadel, and kicking it away, Hotman for Winneconne. Coming over for the ball, that's Rost, and then stolen away again by Lacey Steffens. Takes a kick toward the goal, and it's going to go wide left, or wide right rather. And so going to go off a Ripon player. I thought it did deflect off a Ripon player, but I wasn't positive. So coming over to do a corner kick for Winneconne. Looks like that's going to be Wysinski, I believe. Wysinski, a basketball player also for Winneconne, as is Verkeilen. So fighting for the ball, Ripon and Winneconne, and Haley Shire scoops the ball up, and she'll come back up to punt it away. Punt downfield to midfield, trying to get it to Bauman. Bauman trying to chase it down. It goes into the defensive backfield to Winneconne. They move the ball ahead, and going up to chase the ball down is Fink. And moving ahead now to Hardy on the far side of the field. Hardy passes it into the middle. Now she catches up with it again, passes it ahead. And that's going to be Wasinski to catch up with the ball in the corner. She kicked the ball to the middle of the field, and it's going to be picked up there by Winneconne. And a kick by Hotman is going to go wide right of the goal and out of bounds. So Shire will come up and kick the ball away again for the Tigers. She placed it on the goal line. 2 substitutions for Winneconne, as coming in are Regina Yeager as well as Sarah Scheider. For Winneconne coming out, number 12, Paige Steffens, as well as Hotman for the Wolves. So Winneconne once again controlling the ball. Wasinski, and a kick is going to go right between the football uprights. No good. Wrong game. Sign her up for the Winneconne Wolves for a place kicker. So 5-0 Winneconne leads here. Ripon, Shire getting ready to kick the ball away from the goal box. Kicks it down, blocked by Wasinski. Wasinski with the ball, kicked away by Annadel. Ashley Annadel. Wasinski back over to Verkylen. Verkylen back to Wasinski. Wasinski gets it over to Hardy on the far side of the field. She's dribbling it ahead. Not going to be in any hurry to score here with Winneconne leading 5-0. If they can just control the ball and run as much clock away as possible is all they really want to do at this point. If they get an open shot, they'll take it. But Ripon, that looks like Ross stole the ball away. Gets it ahead to Bauman. Bauman with the ball. She gets it back from Winneconne. Dribbling it ahead. Nobody to help her at the moment as she's been outrunning her teammates. Gets it up, fighting for the ball. Winneconne trying to get it back. And Bauman still with the ball, but now kicked away by Winneconne. Bauman goes back to chase it down. Pressure being put on by Ella Yeager. And now Kowaleski, she passes it into the middle of the field to Summer Annadel. Annadel moving the ball over to the far side. Dribbling it down the sideline. And Winneconne comes up and steals it away but kicks it out of bounds. So it's going to be Ripon ball out of bounds. Looked like Annadel was trying to ask the referee for some kind of an infraction over there, but didn't get it. So Ripon comes up to throw the ball in. They throw it into Annadel in the corner. She moves it forward, takes a kick toward the goal, and Bauman comes over and kicks it, and it's going to go out of bounds out the back line. So it'll be a kick from the goal box as 2 substitutions for Winneconne and 1 for Ripon. Where Ripon has Maya Andrade coming into the game, and it looks like coming out for Ripon is, I believe that's, I can't see her number until she turns around. I think that's Williams. Yes, that's going to be Elena Williams. And so 2 substitutions for Winneconne as well. And the goalkeeper getting ready to kick the ball downfield from the goal box. Winneconne with the ball. They move it over to the near side to Parker Rathert. She must be one of the new players that just came in. Now Wasinski, she moves it ahead to Hardy. Hardy with the ball for Winneconne, dribbling it ahead, and she'll pass it over to Rathert. Rathert with the ball, back to Hardy in the middle of the field. Hardy kicks the ball toward the goal, and that goes wide right. Not positive if that went off the hands of the goalkeeper or not, but I don't believe it did. So Shire will kick the ball away once again from the goal box, as going in for Ripon is Ambrosio, Amanda Ambrosio, and coming out of the game is Heemstra. So trying to fight for control of the ball. Wasinski with it now for Winneconne. She moves it over toward the far side, moves it up to Hardy. Hardy with the ball and passes it to the middle of the field to Wasinski. Wasinski over to Verkylen. Verkylen wants to take a kick, but blocked by Downs. And now Verkylen goes down, and a kick by Hardy is going to be snagged by Shire. As Winneconne leads here, 5-0 over the Tigers. So kick into the middle of the field. Coming up at Ellie Ross. She'll kick the ball ahead, but stolen away by Winneconne. Ross back up, and she's really fighting for that ball. Wants to get Ripon at least on the scoreboard so they don't get skunked here this afternoon. So coming up for the ball is Ettinger. Ettinger moves it ahead, but Winneconne comes up. Now over to Rathert here on the near side, and she's defended by Ettinger, and the ball's going to go out of bounds off Ettinger. So coming over to throw the ball in for Winneconne, Sarah Scheider. Scheider with the throw in. Summer Annadel steals it away. Now it goes out of bounds, and I believe that was off Winneconne, so it'll be Ripon's ball on the throw in. Ettinger coming over to throw the ball in. Gets it into Andrade. And Summer Annadel now with the ball, dribbling it down the sideline. It's going to go out of bounds off Winneconne as it went off the legs of Sarah Scheider. So Ettinger once again comes over to throw the ball in. Nice sunshine coming out right now. Skies have cleared up a little bit here this afternoon. The wind hasn't changed any, however. So Rathert with the ball for Winneconne on the near sideline. Kicks the ball to the middle of the field to Wasinski. Back to Rathert. Rathert back over to Wasinski. Back to Rathert. They're just going to play with Ripon here a little bit the way it looks. Wasinski tries to come up for the ball, and then Bremen. And a kick toward the goal, but Ripon blocks that, and they move the ball downfield. But Hardy with the ball now for Winneconne on the far side. She'll kick it back into the back defense. And that'll move the ball forward for Winneconne. Over to Wasinski. Wasinski heads it, and Downs heads it now, but it goes over to Hardy. Hardy with the crossover kick and to Rathert. Rathert toward the goal, and Shire will fall on it to keep anybody from being able to kick that into the goal for another score for Winneconne. So Shire right there on top of the ball for the Wolves. So Shire kicks it down past midfield. Nice kick as it goes into the Winneconne defensive backfield. Bauman back there to try to chase the ball down. She lets it go out of bounds on the far side at approximately the 25-yard line of the football field. So coming up to throw the ball in for the Tigers will be Kowaleski. I believe the official just said 3 minutes remaining in the game. So if that's what I correctly heard, we've got now just under 3 minutes remaining as Winneconne leads Ripon here 5-0. Hardy with the ball, passes it to Wasinski. Wasinski back over to Hardy on the far side. She dribbles it downfield, moves the ball ahead. Wasinski chasing it down on the far side. Takes a kick toward the goal, and this is going to go wide right. Stays in play as Rathert comes over for the ball for Winneconne. And now also kicking the ball over, Ella Yeager, and we've got a whistle, and it's going to be Winneconne. Not sure what this is going to be here. I believe it's a corner kick. No, it'll be a free kick from the near side of the field. So Wasinski will come over to kick the ball for Winneconne. Ripon with a two-man wall set up there. Looks like Rost, and I'm not sure who the other person is over there. I can't tell what number it is. And maybe Summer Annadel. So kick toward the goal, going to go out of bounds just on the right side of the goal. So two more substitutions coming in for Winneconne as Winneconne bringing in, one is number 24, who is not listed on the roster for Winneconne. The other is 25, Addison Sigailski. And I apologize if I've just murdered that name, but that's one that Coach did not give me at the beginning of the game. So the kick puts the game in play, or the ball in play, and chasing it down for Winneconne, Ella Yeager. She'll pass it over to Millie Bremen, and he'll work the ball into the middle of the field. So Ripon kicks it away. Rost, and now back to Bremen. We're probably down to right around 2 minutes left in the game. So Ripon will inbound the ball on the far side of the field. Winneconne leading here 5-0, and we're just about out of time. Won't be long and the officials will end this game. So Winneconne controlling the ball. They've done that all day long, moving the ball over to Rathert here on the near side of the field. She's defended by Andrade. She moves the ball forward, dribbles it into the middle of the field to Verkeilen. Verkeilen takes a kick, and it's going to fall on top of the netting of the goal. So out of bounds, and Shire will kick the ball away once again for the Tigers. So Shire kicks the ball upfield, and that's going to go out of bounds on the far sideline. And that'll be Winneconne ball, and that's the time. Official indicating that the game is over. So Winneconne wins it here this afternoon with the final score of Winneconne 5, Ripon nothing. The next Ripon girls soccer match will be next week Thursday, April 21st, as the Tigers host Plymouth here in another East Central Conference match beginning at 4:45. And then next Monday, the Ripon boys tennis team will host Wayland Academy here at Ripon High School tennis courts, which is located just across the street from us here at Inglesfield, with the first serve scheduled for 4 p.m. The Ripon boys baseball team will try to extend their overall record to 5-2 following their first losses of the season against Kettle Moraine Lutheran as they fell in a doubleheader on Tuesday night. The Tigers host Wautoma next Monday, April 18th, with first pitch scheduled for 4:45. And be sure to join me next Tuesday, April 19th, on Ripon Sports on YouTube, as the Tigers will host Kettle Moraine Lutheran at Ripon's Murray Park with first pitch scheduled for 4:45. Thank you for joining us today and for your support of Ripon Tiger Sports. And thank you to our executive producer and cameraman for the Ripon channel, Riley Eisnagel. Once again, final score tonight from Inglesfield here in Ripon, Winneconne 5, Ripon 0. I'm Bruce Lang for the Ripon channel saying thank you for joining us this afternoon. Have a great Easter weekend, and as always, stay Tiger proud.